Hello students, how are you all? Welcome back. Once again, I am here with another problem related to probability. So here you can see that there is an example, a dice is thrown once. So we have taken a dice. You must be knowing dice, you have played Ludo. So the instrument which we use to get the values, that is called dice. So a dice is thrown once and you have to find the probability of getting an even number, a number less than 5, a number greater than 2, a number between 3 and 6, a prime number and a number other than 3. So before starting the solution, let me give you a detail about the dice. You must be knowing that dice is of a cube shape, and here in these blocks I am just showing you the outcomes. What are the possible outcomes in a dice? There is a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5 and a 6. So these are the 6 faces showing 6 different numbers of the dice. So now with the help of these faces and these outcomes only, we are going to solve the values, the probability of these terms. So very first, let us know the given terms. So what is the total outcomes of a dice? So the total outcome for a dice is 6. Maximum results what we can get is 6. So the total outcomes in the case of a dice is 6. Now we'll take one by one. Very first, in the first part we want an even number. What we want is even number. So very first, what are the even numbers on a dice? It is not a general even number. It is we want an even number which is present on the dice. So we have an even number 2, 4 and 6. So what are the number of even numbers on this dice? 3, which is 2, 4 and 6. Now let's find the probability of even number. So what will be the probability of even number? Favorable outcome, which is 3, upon total outcome, that is 6. Simplifying here, you will get 1 upon 2. So this is the probability of getting an even number. Second part, and in the second part we want a number less than 5. A number less than 5. So if we want a number less than 5, so what are those numbers? So the numbers can be 1, 2, 3 and 4. We cannot take 5 because it is said that less than 5. So these are the 4 results. So what are the favorable outcomes? Number of favorable outcomes? 1, 2, 3 and 4 favorable outcomes. Now let's find the probability of less than 5. So probability of getting a number less than 5 is favorable outcome 4 upon total outcome, that is 6. Simplifying here, 2 2s are and 2 3s are. So our probability for getting less than 5 is 2 upon 3. Coming to the third part. And in third part, what we want? A number greater than 2. So what we want is number greater than 2. So if we want a number greater than 2, so what are those numbers which are greater than 2? Greater than 2 means 1 and 2 are not included. That is 3, 4, 5 and 6. So how many numbers we have? 4 favorable outcomes. This 4 is actually the favorable outcomes. So number of favorable outcome is 4. So let us find the probability of a number greater than 2. So that is favorable outcome 4 upon total outcome. Simplifying it up here, you will get 2 upon 3. So the probability of getting a number greater than 2 is again 2 upon 3. Coming to the fourth part, which is a number between 3 and 6. what we want is a number between 3 and 6. So if we want a number between 3 and 6, that means what are the numbers between 3 and 6? Between 3 and 6 means 3 and 6 are excluded. So we have only two values. So the numbers are 4 and 5. That means what is the total number of favorable outcomes? 2. 2 favorable outcomes we may get. So the probability of number between 3 and 6 is 2 upon total outcomes, which is 6. Simplifying here, you will get 1 upon 3. Clear? Coming to the next part, which is our fifth part. Now in fifth part, what we want is a prime number. A prime number. What we want is a prime number. So now the question arises, what are prime numbers? Prime numbers are those numbers which are only divisible by 1 and its number itself. So what are the values? What are the prime numbers here? We have 2, 3 and 5. So what are those prime numbers? The numbers are 2, 3 and 5. So how many favorable outcomes we got? 3. This is actually the favorable outcome. It is not one of the digit. It is a favorable outcome. So now the probability of a prime number is favorable outcome, which is 3, upon total outcome, which gives you 1 upon 2. When you simplify it, you will get 1 upon 2. So the prime number probability of prime number is 1 upon 2. Now coming to the last part, which is our sixth part. A number other than 3. What we want? A number other than 3. We do not want outcome as 3, but we want any other number. So except 3, we will accept all other results. So what are the results? What can be the numbers? It can be a 1, it can be a 2, it can be 4, it can be 5 and it can be 6. But we do not want 3 in our outcomes. So what is the total number of outcomes? For total number of favorable outcomes, that is 5. So now the probability of number other than 3. So number other than 3, favorable outcome is 5 and total number of outcome is 6. So our probability for number other than 3 is 5 upon 6. So this is how you can do a question related to dice. There can be different aspects, different type of questions asked in this. It can be even number, odd number, prime number, composite number, perfect squares, a perfect cube or any other number which is related to cubes. So I am sure this topic is clear to all of you. Thank you for the lesson.